Here.
Larry Derrigan,
Here.
Magdalene Dale,
Here.
Esme Martinson.
Here.
We could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
To the republic.
For which it stands,
One nation.
one
under
nation,
God,
under God, indivisible, with
liberty
liberty and justice for all.
Linda, can we have a confirmation of meeting posting?
Yes, I can confirm that tonight's meeting was posted at all designated locations.
Next, we need an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second,
We have a motion by Cindy, a second by Debbie to approve the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Moving on, 1.6, any public comments?
We have none in the library at this time.
Do we have any public comments from our virtual audience? We'll move on. Approval of meeting minutes, April 27th and May 6th.
I had a comment on the first one.
Love you.
It refers to two different people being elected vice president. Myself and Debbie, I was elected treasurer.
I think you made the motion.
Yeah, so anyhow, the minutes say that Debbie was elected vice president, and then it goes down to, so it should be treasurer instead of vice president for me. And the discussion about the wind sled maintenance fund, I don't recall mentioning, because I don't think I know what the number was. I just said that I thought there was a substantial amount in the maintenance fund. I didn't recall mentioning 75,000. So if we could take out the 75,000 reference.
Thank you, Glenn. I got it.
Thanks, Linda.
So motion to,
I have a
Someone has
correction.
to explain.
You want to do them together or separate?
we can do them together.
Okay, because on May 6th, on that meeting, it said that I was absent, which I was for the first part, but I did arrive right as the executive session went in, I believe, and even am recorded making a motion down at the end of the meeting. So if I can be in, it can be included that I arrived.
I
at
will.
that.
Sorry about that.
So I'll motion to approve the minutes with corrections.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Cindy, a second by Glenn to accept the meeting minutes with corrections. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Moving on, 2.1, effective communication. We have Chris Plansky.
Hello. I think that the most relevant communication technology is probably about our distance learning at this time. You know, we're doing distance or using Zoom for meetings with students as well as with our board and our staff We're also using Google's Hangouts Meet product as well for that. That's free for us and included with part of our state contract with Google. And from everything I've heard, that's been going relatively well. We also have a number of students and teachers using Google Classroom to do their work, and any number of other platforms. Teachers are meeting with students, doing videos, doing a lot of one-on-one sessions, and a lot of engagement. I don't have any numbers as far as how many of our students we're reaching, but from talking to teachers, it seems like it's pretty substantial, especially with the younger kids. As we move forward next year, I'm going to be preparing to do more of the same. We don't know if what education will look like next year, but certainly we need to be prepared to do this again. And I hope to have a few more tools and a few more things available to our staff and to our students to make things a little bit easier and kind of smooth out some of the rough edges. Did anybody have any questions about what we're doing?
I just think it's going great from what I've been hearing from the students and stuff. So I commend you for all the great work you put into this.
Well, our teachers are the ones who are making all the connections, and they've had quite a learning curve. My job was easy once it got all rolling and everything got out the door. It's the teachers who are making it all happen. So hats off to them. And I think that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
You're
Chris,
welcome.
I had one question, Chris, and that
Yes,
is,
Glenn.
what are we doing as far as kids that may not have good internet access at home?
We have been scrambling to get equipment. One thing that we put out there was a number of companies have stepped up and offered free internet for families. Anywhere where it's available. Both CenturyLink and Charter have done that. But we have had issues where neither of those were available in the area, or where they may have had outstanding bills due with one of those companies. So the company would refuse to sign them up again. So what we've got on order are with AT&T some wireless hotspots that can turn cellular into Wi-Fi. Those have not arrived yet. Last time I checked, I haven't been in the office this week, but and those are in pretty short supply right now. It's pretty hard to get your hands on those. So I plan on I've got 2 on order, and once I have some better numbers from this year for how many families are going to need that, I'd like to get some more ordered over the summer, so we've got some on hand.
That makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions?
Chris, I just have one.
Yeah.
On security, we went from, the Google Classroom Hangout. I'm guessing we're still doing that with staff.
Yep.
Zoom Classroom. Talk a little bit about the security. Have you seen a difference in the last couple of weeks or 3-4 weeks on that issue?
Well, with Zoom, they've had some major security issues. There were a number of things. One was that there used to be their default settings for meetings, and most people just, they download it, they turn it on, they make a meeting, and they go. The default settings would not include things like the meeting password. So people were jumping into meetings like we experienced in our finance committee meeting, and just being rude, causing trouble, and then you have to manually eject each of those people. At this point, every meeting has a password by default, and I think that maybe in the future we will be switching to having everybody register. So you have to log in, create an account with Zoom. I think is how the process. I haven't been through the process yet, but it's something like that where you'll have to actually register, and it makes it easier to block that person or file a complaint with Zoom if they cause problems in a meeting, so that everybody who joins the meeting will need to do that. So I'll be testing that out. Another problem that Zoom had was at least their Mac client I'm not sure about the other platforms, but their Mac client was built using some pretty old software. And there was a major bug that would allow unwanted use of the camera or your microphone. You know how you always have to grant permission for those things to happen. And a malicious person could actually gain access through the old Mac client. So we've got everything up to date as far as I know, and they are actually cutting off support for their older clients on May 31st, so that everyone will have to be updated. The third major issue with Zoom, and I don't think this affects us much because we're using it in the public for the most part, and somewhat in private sessions. But there were some servers in China for Zoom that were not updated and were considered compromised by the United States government. That's why Congress and the Senate will not use Zoom and are forbidden from using Zoom. I don't really think that's going to affect us much. We're not, we have the privacy of our students to protect, but we don't have any high value assets that would, a big time player that's going to hack Zoom servers. We're talking about, governmental entities probably that would be interested in espionage or other really high level stuff. So I don't think that affects us, but that's an ongoing issue. So as far as I know, we haven't had any problems on the Google platform because all of those meetings that between teachers and students are kept private. So they're not in the public realm.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
2.2 on our agenda is the band refund update.
So it's important for us to communicate with the board and, on the band update. Randy has a spreadsheet she'll go over in terms of what's in, what's out, and what possibly could be coming back. Randy?
So right now, our account balance is minus $9,770. We do not have any of the money back from the truck company yet. The most we could see back is the 41,000. But right now we don't know exactly how much that's going to be. They're still waiting to see. We were told at one point that we were getting travel vouchers back as far as for the airfare, but I think that's going to be null and void now that we will probably get an actual refund back because of the whole situation. So now we just play a waiting game to get that money back, but we will be back in the black once we receive that money. And then that money stays in the band trip or in the band fund for a future trip.
And that would be considered the fundraising money, correct?
Right, that's all the fundraising money.
Thank you.
3.1, any future agenda items? .2 Finance Committee. We met and discussed vouchers, the purchase of copier, student meal deliveries, VISA 12 contract, and lease renewal with the Bayfield Rec Center. All of which are, I believe, later on in the agenda. 3.3 Policy Committee.
And we, talked about quite a few items. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not quite sure what they are, but I see somewhere on the agenda for our policies and procedures and stuff like that. So
I believe it's a 4K contract. There's a revision in what Missy Giesregan will be talking about later in terms of the 4K contract. That was something we talked about.
there's quite a few items.
Yeah, and also the middle school, high school EDO program. Kelly will be talking about that in terms of the request for with the board tonight.
Moving on to administrative reports. District Administrator, Middle School, High School Principal, Director of Special Ed and Pupil Services, and Elementary Principal, Building and Grounds Report, and Finance Manager. Is there any questions from the board?
I'll move that we accept the reports and place them on file.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Glenn, second by Cindy. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. 5.1 vouchers.
I will make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $337,619.34, which we reviewed at the Finance Committee meeting.
Seconded.
We have a motion by Glenn, second by Larry. Could we have a roll call, please, Linda? Linda?
Can I ask a quick question? Just, it's like a side thing, but I just noticed the amount for Viking Motors, and I'm just curious about like if the bus contract was adjusted due to COVID and them not busing, or what the status is of that.
We could answer that in discussion. Randy, do you want to answer, or Jeff?
Or do you want me to take that, Jeff?
Sure, I can add to it. Go ahead.
So all of our contracts during the COVID, we were required to continue making those payments to contractors, but no, they are not running, but they are still getting paid.
Yeah, I'll just add a recommendation from DPI. Continue on with any service vendor contracts that we've had for this school year.
Okay.
Are we getting any kind of reimbursement for any of that though? Because we didn't utilize it, so through the COVID or anything like that?
We do get state aid on our transportation money. So we will get state aid on it for next year.
Could we have a roll call, please, Linda, to approve the vouchers? Did you get the motion and second?
Yep, motion by Glenn, second by Larry. And Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Deb Knopf,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Larry Derrigan,
Yes.
Magdalene Dale,
Yes. Sorry.
that's right, thanks. Esme Martinson,
Yes.
Motion carries. 7.1, discuss CISA 12 contracts.
Okay, so what you have in front of you is our annual contract with CISA. Every year we go through the exhibits, the areas that CISA offers for our district to have throughout the year. And the administrative team, along with Randy, Angela Bodka, Title I Services, we go through each item and we determine what's important for our district. And we'll identify line item what we like to have for the next school year. And as we go through them, we determine if we want them here for 1 day, 2, 3 days, etc. It's pretty comprehensive. The principals are heavily involved. This is pretty much their areas, along with other aspects of what we do in terms of literacy, school leadership, programming, professional development, data analysis with assessments. There's library usage of materials, all sorts of things that as you can see going through it, that we look at the contract through with CISA. This here to bring forward the preliminary budget in April, and then we sign off on it over to CISA so they can fulfill their obligations for next year. And after tonight's meeting, we will submit it tomorrow upon approval. Shelley and Missy, do you have anything on this? This is really your ball game here.
Does anyone else not have the attachment?
No, I have it.
For the CISA 12?
Yeah.
Not showing up in mine. But I seen it. I seen it at finance, so.
Shelley and Missy, did you have a comment or two on this?
If the board has a question, do you want me to clarify anything that's on here? Much of what's on here is just part of what we look at is the strategic plan. We look at our curriculum review cycle and where we're at in that cycle and what sort of supports we need from outside agencies to accomplish our goals and our continuous improvement plan in the district. So what you'll find is more trauma work where we will be engaging in year 2 of trauma sensitive leadership teamwork. There's also a section on math. Next year's our math curriculum review cycle. So we'll have our committee that is part of our math. They'll rewrite the math curriculum and look at purchasing some updated materials to align with the curriculum that they develop. What else did we purchase? Special ed services, of course, that's dependent upon students' IEPs. You'll see audiology. We have some students who receive deaf and hard of hearing services, otherwise known as DHH. So we have to have that because we don't have anybody licensed. So CISA provides those services. They come in. Brent travels all over. He actually comes in and tests the kids' hearing aids and tests. We have audio devices within the setting, so he tests to make sure that those are functioning and operating appropriately. That's about it. And then like Battle of the Books, Spelling Bee, those are some activities that our students engage in and that will continue to provide services. And that's part of a regional bee or like almost like a little championship for our kids to participate in.
One more item. If you look at this particular page, Randy, if you keep that up, physical therapy, 158, physical therapy, its value, the dollar amount last year that we would have had if the board didn't take on this position this year would be $83,000. While next year, we're going to have that position within our own school. So we won't be ordering that out from CISA. And there's an $83,000 savings there, which will turn over to the regular Fund 10 budget. We'll have it as our own employee. Any other questions?
I just think CISA does a terrific job of offering services to smaller districts, like we have in northern Wisconsin that provide so much to our staff and our students. We're really fortunate to have CISA helping us out.
Absolutely. And the number we're looking at tonight, I didn't get that final number for the approval, but I think it was $67,000, Randy, that the board would be approving tonight.
7,835.
I can bring that up again. Hold on.
There it is. So we're asking board for approval of the 67,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Larry, second by Deb.
Yep.
Can we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Yes. Debbie Knopf,
Yes.
Magdalene Dale,
Yes.
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity,
Yes.
Larry Derrigan,
Yes.
and Esme Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries. 7.2 meal deliveries until June 30.
Okay, so the school year runs out, end of the year is June. That would be our normal for the meal program. However, Rutcliffe is running the program through June 30th. And what we did tonight was put together a budget for the board and asked the board to extend our meal program through June 30th, so from June 12th through June 30th. And we're also asking the board to, we would provide breakfast and dinners time, and we would use Redcliffe to provide the lunch during this time frame also.
Jeff, can you speak closer to the mic? You were cutting out a little bit. Thank you. So everything will stay the same for the meals?
Not for the island.
Okay,
Redcliffe is going to be providing the lunches.
and the school provides the breakfast and the dinner, right? Okay.
In clarity that the tribe is providing lunch for the whole entire summer. Nothing ends on June 30th for Redcliffe. Our program will run through August 31st. And so starting June 12th, once that lunch is established with the island, Redcliffe will be able to continue that throughout the whole summer.
Wow.
It's just the breakfast and dinner that will end June 30th.
Oh,
That's
my.
wonderful.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, thank you.
So how do the meals get to Madeline?
The boat,
On the boat.
so their staff would drop them off, Redcliffe staff.
And
So
somebody
11
picks them up
o'clock.
and,
Yeah.
Then Ralph picks them up. Yep.
So Jeff, this 46,549, now that's this is DPI, we'll get reimbursement for that then, right? Full reimbursement for them?
We will get reimbursed, correct, Randy?
Or the reimbursement will be the 49,818, but then I estimated the salary and fringe for the staff to work those additional 19 days. So then the regular or the remaining amount of what will be reimbursed will be used for food supplies.
Okay. Motion to approve.
I can
I'll
second.
second. Was it Magdalene?
Yeah.
I can't see you guys' faces. We have a motion by Cindy and a second by Magdalene. Can we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Larry Derrigan,
Yes.
Esme Martin,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Deb Knopf,
yes,
Magdalene Dale,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you to all the cooks. 7.3 copier quote.
So Randy, Chris, do you want to take this?
Sure, so we are looking at purchasing 2 copy machines under the state contract. They'll be $11,457.84 each, and they will be in the teacher's workroom and the old high school area. Those copy machines are, I want to say 5 or 6 years old, so they're at the end of their life cycle.
wow.
What happens to those ones then?
We'll trade them in as a trade-in.
Okay. I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second. Oh, let Esme do it.
That was not me.
Oh, sorry, Magdalene.
That's okay.
Motion by myself, second by Magdalene. Could we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity,
Yes.
Larry Derrigan,
Yes.
Magdalene Dale,
Yes.
Debbie Knopf,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Esme Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries. 7.4 lease renewals, Bayfield Recreation Center.
So we're up to our lease renewal. This particular renewal has no changes from the previous one. We do offer the $40,000 capital monies every year for any capital equipment, and apparently there might be a boiler problem down there, possibly, but we'll definitely look into that. I did talk to the new, the board vice president phoned me a month ago and indicated that they have a new director that has come on board who I haven't met yet. She did call the district a week or so ago. We will be meeting with her, but my understanding is they don't want a whole lot of change on this lease. They're hoping that we can just renew the lease for 2 more years, and then they would come forward with any programming goals, any action goals that they're moving forward with their new director. So it's pretty standard renewal at this point, no changes.
Motion
Just
to,
go ahead. I just want to clarify for Esme and Magdalene, just so they understand that the school district owns the rec center in Bayfield, and we contract with Recreation and Fitness Resources, Inc. to manage the facility and run operations. And we charge them $1.
motion to approve. We charge them $2.
Is that per your motion, or are you just joking?
I'm just joking.
We
Okay,
haven't actually done any of the negotiation yet. We haven't met yet to negotiate this yet.
so should it come back?
Yes. I did receive a call from when Jack, the former president, passed away. The vice president and indicated what I indicated, that she just thought it was best that they didn't want any changes within the lease. Now, and he said we could meet with them on if the board approves it tonight, and if there's any recommended changes, we could bring it back to the board. And others would hear from their director. But as of now, I haven't heard anything that they want to change within the lease.
So we should
I'll
just go
second
ahead and,
Larry's motion.
We have a motion by Larry to accept as presented, a second by Debbie. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. 7.5 4K agreement change.
Motion to approve. Do we do approve and second and then discuss it?
Sure.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Debbie, a second by Cindy. In discussion, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. 7.6 pandemic related policy change to Guido number 2.
Jeff, can you define for us what is Guido number 2?
Yes, so we have a GED program for seniors who are credit deficient. The state of Wisconsin years back came forward with this program for schools who had high school seniors who were credit deficient. There was 2 options a school could take. First option, was the school could have them go through the program. The kids would test out at the local WITC, and they would get an HSED equivalency diploma. Or the second option was, the school had the alternative to have the kids go through the program. They would go over to WITC, pass the recommended assessments. Then in turn, the district offered them a Bayfield High School diploma. And our district, years past, chose option number 2, which we now offer them a high school diploma. But due to the pandemic, COVID, the last couple of months, the kids could not get over to WITC to take the assessments. However, we do have alternative assessments here, pre-assessments that get them there. And I'm gonna let Shelley talk a little bit about that. It's equivalent to what the tests are taking there. And I had Shelley and Karen, the teacher, Karen and Mr. Perry, contact WITC just to make sure that this was an okay process so we can get those kids graduated as long as they pass the recommended assessments here. Shelley?
But just to add on to that, the GEDO practice ready exams were administered here within our building by Karen DePerry before she would take the kiddos to WITC. And they were indicators on whether or not they were ready to take the real exam and pass it. And those indicator numbers are the ones that we are using on those practice readiness tests to indicate passing grades for the students who are seniors in the GEDO2 program. The students, some of them had already taken a number of the tests, so it's not all subject areas that we are looking at using this practice ready exam, just a few tests that weren't done by the graduation date. We contacted WATC first, and they had no date of when they were going to have their sites open again. And so then Karen and I contacted the DPI GEDO number 2 consultant from Madison, and this was the guidance she gave us. That way our students will still all graduate with the class of 2020 on June 6th.
Could we also clarify that it's just for this school year in our motion?
That is correct, just for this year.
I make that motion.
And second that.
I missed who it was.
Me for the second.
We have a motion by Larry to accept the policy with the addition that it's for this school year only, and a second by Esme. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. 7.7 graduation requirement credit change. Shelley, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I can. There's about 4 documents there for you to look at. All the changes are in red, so you can see where we are making the changes. We had to make a change for a couple of reasons. The first reason being the personal finance class that was approved in November to be added on to the class of 2024 and beyond. So that will be in there. The second reason we had to change that is we are going to a 7-period day beginning in the fall. And that was to meet the board directed requirement of getting those numbers up in classes and not having the classroom sizes of 3, 4, 5 students. And so that would make it nearly impossible for students to meet the 25 credit and still have that 1 period for enrichments and interventions, the IE, otherwise known as the study hall. And so you can see the first page in black is what it currently reads. And then the second page has the red changes to meet those needs. And it kind of explains which class it pertains to. The 16 credits for elective stays the same except for 2024 and later. And a little bit further down the third page is the current policy and language that you find in our high school student handbook. And this summer, the teachers will be giving us input to update that. It's needed an overhaul for at least the 3 years that I've been in the principal position. We still have a lot of classes that truly aren't being offered in the district. And some of that has to do with the turnover of the business ed teacher, multiple teachers over the last 8 years. And so we'll be updating that, but that's the old policy. And the new policy is just reflecting that change due to the personal finance credit and the 7-period day. I think the last change on that last page also, we're taking out the wording of beginning with the 2012-13 school year because it's been a policy now for 8 school years. Students will be granted a half credit in physical education for participating in a varsity sport. We added during their junior or senior year because that's come up in every discussion, but it wasn't written in the policy for the kids to see. So we added that just to clear that up a little bit. And if they get that half credit, they still there's that second paragraph that's in bold that they still have to take a half credit in a different subject area. That policy was added before I was the principal, but I was told that was added just to open up some more areas of academics for students who were also varsity athletes in our district.
Shelley, I just have a quick comment in that second paragraph. The last sentence says total credits needed remain at 25. So that should change to 24.
Yep, and I think I did modify that when we were at the policy meeting, but maybe the change didn't make it on this PDF document.
No worries.
But I'll make sure I get that to Linda Weber when she's doing the updates.
So Shelley, this is Debbie. What is the reference to the 16.5 that was on one of the documents?
That's the elective credits needed
The electives. Okay.
after you get your required credits.
Okay, thanks.
Or no, it's vice versa. There's 16.5 required classes, and then that changes it to 7.5 elective credits.
Oh, okay.
Any more questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Larry, a second by Glenn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. 7.8, walk-in freezer replacement.
All right, I have Dave Weber here and Randy working on this project.
This Karen, head cook is requiring more freezer space. We have the estimate there. In back of the freezer, there is a small janitorial closet which can be taken out because we have one down the hall pretty close to the kitchen. So we have I believe you have the estimates in front of you and stuff. I think it's going to be around $38,000 altogether. A couple of walls have to be taken out. They're not non-supporting walls. And a drain's got to be plugged. The sink's got to be taken out. Some plumbing, some electrical got to be moved.
This came up at the finance committee meeting, and Dave and Karen both made really good arguments for doing this. So I'll move that we approve this.
Second.
We have a motion by Glenn, a second by Cindy. Could we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Glenn Carlson,
Aye.
Larry Garrigan,
Aye. Oh, yeah.
Magdalene Dale,
Aye.
Esme Martinson,
Aye.
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Deb Knopf,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity.
Yes.
Thank you, board.
Thank you, Dick. Motion carries. 7.9, job description, .6 school psychologist.
So the next two items, job description, we're going from a full-time equivalency to a .6, which is 3 days, 3 full days. It's been posted, and we can now take an application. This is the job description we're asking the board to approve upon upon the interview process.
Are you saying we're approving the job description or approving the applicant?
Nope, just a job description. Yeah.
Oh.
We went from a full-time to a part-time, 0.6, 3-day. We also learned that we don't have a whole lot of job descriptions that are to be found. So when we don't have one, for instance, this particular one, we developed it. So in time of the interview process, we would have a job description available.
Is this somehow scaled back from the full-time school psychologist? It looked pretty meaty.
Yeah, no, it's a regular job description. We didn't.
Okay. Okay, motion to approve.
We have a motion by Debbie, second by, was it Larry?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. 7.10, job description, 0.6, physical therapist.
This is a new position. So this is a whole new way of doing business, having a physical therapist on board now full-time. Well, not full-time, 3 days a week, 0.6. But this is similar to the other job description. We're asking board for approval.
Motion approved.
I heard Debbie. Was it someone else?
Oh, it wasn't me.
Oh,
That was me. Motion approved.
Second.
we have a motion by Cindy to approve, a second by Esme. In discussion, I just want to reinforce that no offer is made until it comes to the board based on our previous discussions in Finance Committee.
Correct.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. 8.1, adjourn to executive session in accordance with Wisconsin Statute 19.85. We have physical education position hire, salary negotiations, NSTD health insurance request, administrative configuration, pandemic update, and legal update.
Nicole, this is Glenn. Just one question. Mechanically, how will we go back? So we're going to be going out of this meeting now and then into a meeting that Debbie sent a link to, right?
Yep.
And then when we go out of executive session, how will we go back into public session? On
You
Zoom?
join
You
back
will come,
This,
yeah, I will keep this meeting live.
You will. Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
And for any yes.
Chris, could we just go to another browser and keep this one up instead of Xing out of it?
I'm not sure. I think that your Zoom client will only allow one meeting at a time.
Yeah.
You can certainly try, but I don't think you want to be capturing any audio from your private session and have it broadcast here. So
Right.
I would suggest leaving this session and then joining the executive session.
Okay, then just a reminder, Deb did send out the link to everybody on email.
Okay, don't leave yet because we don't even have a motion for executive.
Right. So I'll make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss the items that were listed.
Second.
We have a motion by Glenn, second by Debbie. Could we have a roll call, please, Linda?
Nicole Boyd,
Yes.
Deb Ma,
Yes.
Cindy Garrity,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson,
Yes.
Larry Derrigan,
Yes.
Magdalene Dale,
Yes.
Esme Martinson.
Yes.
Motion carries. See you in
Can you
executive.
make sure, Deb, can you make sure to send me the link too?
Oh, okay. Yep.
Thank you.